Wow. Dude, I don't even know what to say at this point. I mean, obviously, thank you. That's the title of this video. It's the whole point of this video, but I had no idea what would happen would happen. So for those of you guys that do not know, a lot of things happening in my life right now, but I just dropped a brand new album last Friday called Graveyard Shift. It's 22 songs, all sorts of different styles of me that you've ever heard, a lot of brand new styles. There's literally so much different variety on this album. I'm literally just unloading my catalog that I have on my desktop, pretty much all these different types of songs that I've experimented with. It's not a conceptual album that I usually put together when I do solo albums, meaning like there's kind of a story that I'm trying to tell. This one, the story is pretty much just like my evolution in music making, and like you just hear all these different sounds, and I'm just trying a lot of things. So I was naturally very nervous to put out this album, just like any album really. And if you've watched my videos, you know that I was pushing really hard for everybody to buy this on iTunes and try to get into the top 5 of the charts, because every album that I've ever put out has charted in the top 5, and it's like this badge of honor that I've had. It didn't make it. It topped out at number 11. But this is the really awesome part. I got super depressed, and that's natural. It comes along with every album. There's a thing called post-album depression, because you're working so long and so hard on this body, and then you just put it out, and then you don't know what to do anymore. It's a very real thing, so just be aware of that if you ever decide to put out an album. But I've been battling with this idea that I've been like declining and falling off for years now, which, I mean, obviously everybody's got a shelf life when it comes to this stuff. I'm not an idiot. And so the album tops out at number 11, but I'm like smack dab in between 2 Eminem albums. And I was definitely worried putting out the album because there was a lot more huge names that had just dropped as compared to when I drop albums in the past. I usually try to drop them like in the middle of the week or something like that, because Jelly Roll just dropped a country album, but he's got several rap albums, so I knew his name would be kind of flourishing up there. Eminem just dropped a music video, so his album kind of recirculated. Glorilla just dropped an album. Big X The Plug, Rod Wave, LL Cool J, like all these people still have these albums. And here's me. I'm just like thrown in right in the middle of all these massive, huge, heavy hitters. But here we are 6 days later, almost a week later, and I'm still at number 55 on the charts. This has never happened ever. And I'm gonna tell you what this means to me and like why this just like immediately kind of pulled me out of this weird depression that I immediately got thrown into. Because in years past, when I put out these albums and they hit into, the top 5, they hit number 5, I had one of them go number 1. Literally the same day, they're off the charts completely. Like they're out of the top 200. But for a split second, they're up at number 1 because like all the pre-orders hit. I've never made it longer than a day staying on the charts. The fact that I'm almost a week out and I'm still like in the top half of the charts, in the top 50 almost of the charts, means that people are hearing the songs and re-listening to the songs and going back and re-listening to the album. And I've gotten so many comments talking about how great this album is and how it is the best album that I've ever put out. And immediately I'm like, man, I would much rather have this feeling than the ones that I've had in the past. Like, yeah, it was awesome to reach into the top 5 of the charts, but then nobody was like replaying the music. It was just like a one-time listen. Oh, okay, cool. And then they leave. This one just, it feels different. Like they listen and then they play it again, and everybody's got a different favorite song. It's not just like, yeah, that's the good song. That's the good song. The rest of them kind of sound filler. I've never experienced this in the 7-8 years that I've been doing this. This is my 5th album. I have never experienced this feeling that I'm feeling right now. Almost got a little choked up right there, but I didn't. I'm very emotional right now. I'm getting married Saturday. So there's a whole lot happening right now. Sorry. Like this comment right here, for example, says, well, I've had some critics about your albums and songs over the years, but this album is really a masterpiece. You've evolved so much, Crypt, as a musician and a person, at least in your online presence. Keep up the great work. Someone that has not liked a lot of my stuff in the past has called this a masterpiece. And I'm like a pretty big self-deprecation guy. And when I read that, I'm just like, man, that is awesome that this guy said this. And then I got tweeted this earlier. This is from a fan of mine called LC4 that has been around since day one. And this is what he has said about the album. After listening to this album continuously over and over again, I still give this album a 10 out of 10. Truthfully, this has been one of, if not the best albums that you have done. This has a mixture of everything in it, from raw emotion to shit talking to metal, from bars to crazy flows, energetic energy to raw, heartwarming vocal. And he continues on. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's 4 notepads worth and I tweeted about it, but I read this whole thing and I'm like damn near teared up. And it's just such a crazy thing because like this is the feeling that I have been chasing the whole time that I've ever done music. And the whole time I thought it was chasing the charts, like chasing the number 1. But in reality, it's just been chasing people listening to the music and liking it and continuing to listen to it. A longer lasting effect. And so for LC4 to say this, who's been around for years, and for this guy to say it who has had some critics about my other stuff. I've read other comments that I couldn't dig through and find them right now. There's been so many comments and tweets and Instagram messages, but people saying like, I typically don't listen to your music and your reaction videos, but I decided to give this a listen and I was blown away. I've had so many people say this is like a 10 out of 10 album. This is the best one that I've ever done. And I am just completely overwhelmed with the emotion and like the positive feedback that this has gotten, because I certainly was not expecting this whatsoever. I just really had no idea, man. I tried a lot of things that I wanted to do, and you'll be able to tell that by track 1 on this album. I literally opened the album singing my heart out. So if you have not listened to the album, please give it a listen based off of just what other people are saying about it right now. I posted the whole thing for free on my YouTube channel if you don't want to go try to stream it or buy it on iTunes or anything like that. But just the fact that it is still around the top 50 of the charts really does mean a whole lot to me, because, you know, I feel like it can kind of be easy to inflate albums the day of the drop because everybody's excited to listen to it, but when it's a week later and it fizzles out, that's kind of where you see where you stand. And right now I see that you guys love the album. It's not just a bunch of people saying it to say it because I'm nice. They're saying it because they mean it. And that just, that string right there in my heart, that pulls on it, man. But yeah, I love you guys. I mean, you really are amazing. I'm getting married Saturday. That's why I haven't been posting a lot over the last week, 2 weeks. I've been trying to get that ready. I've also got a house that I've been renovating that is an Airbnb that I'm having people stay at for the wedding. I just put out the album. Like, there's so much culminating in my life right now. I can't believe I get to marry this woman. Again, 2017 Crypt would just be like, how did you make it like this, bro? This is awesome. But anyway, thank you. I love you guys so freaking much. The support on this has been very amazing, overwhelming. Please continue to tweet at me, post me on your Instagram stories. I'm sharing all that stuff when you mention me in your stories, and just keep the album rolling. If you like it, continue to, you know, play it, show your friends. I'm gonna live stream on Monday after the wedding. Getting married on Saturday, gonna spend Sunday with the wife, and then Monday we will get back at it and live stream. But then that following week I will be gone again for honeymoon stuff. So please come join me in that live stream on Monday. Get back to listening into some dope music, and we'll just, you know, we'll talk about the album if you guys want to, or we'll just listen to your guys' music. Whatever you want to do on that Monday, that's what we'll do. So I will see you guys then. Next time you see me, I'm gonna have a ring on this finger, and that's awesome. I really do love you guys. You know, I feel like YouTubers say that, don't mean it. I mean that shit. Have a great day, guys.
Pour myself another drink. I might just wash it down with your memories. I might just head south down to Tennessee, make a song about the way that you treated me. I might just get the song on the radio. It might just play everywhere that you go. You might not like the things about you that I wrote, but either way, you know you're gonna hear from me. Yeah, sitting at home, thinking about all of the people that said I would never be on. Said I should go, said I would never do nothing with all of these songs that I wrote, but I never fold. I'll just take the haters' motivation and I'll turn it to gold. Write about it on the paper and make it a hit, and I'll take it to the radio and I'll play it everywhere that you go. You cannot escape all those